And hello, everybody. Welcome to the IGAA Hope Network. Hope standing for helping others to pursue their endeavors. I hope that you all had a great day, and we are in for another exciting and riveting interview. Today, my guest is a friend of mine. Her name is Tammy Padilla. She's an author, singer, songwriter, wife, mother, encourager, and that is just the half of it. I want you all to welcome one of the IGAA Hope members, Sister Tammy Padilla.
Hey Phil, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I don't know if there's anything else to say. That's it. That's it right there. That's the interview.
I try to do my best to make sure I give everybody their due justice, and you certainly are deserving of everything that's been said about you. Um, and let's go ahead and get started. Tell me
Okay.
about who is Tammy Padilla.
So the first thing I would say is that Tammy Padilla loves people. I mean, I love and I enjoy being around people. Surprisingly, I'm an introvert. People don't always believe that, but I am an introvert. I spend time listening to people. Mama Mama Sue says she likes to watch people. I like to talk and listen to people. But I'm a lover of life. As you said, I love to encourage people. I have been on this journey for a good little while here. I call myself a nice bottle of aged wine because I
Come on
have
now.
definitely been here for a little bit. So I just love life and I love people.
Okay,
That
talk
that's the one thing.
talk about your early beginnings. What was it like? Your church life. What was it like growing up? Or when did you decide you were going to follow Jesus? All of that.
Oh, he said, I want it all. So I grew up as the only child. I was
Okay.
born the only one to my mother and father. And my mother and father divorced when I was very young. And we moved to Washington, D.C. to live with her sisters. And so we have been here. And so the New Macedonia Baptist Church, as you're very familiar with, is where I remember going to church. That's how young I was. And I was a part of the Hallelujah Baptist Church choir,
Got you.
which was very well known back in at that time. Shirley Abels
Yeah.
was running the choir. And so I sang in the choir. I got baptized at the New Macedonia Baptist Church, grew up, went in the military, spent 21 years in the military, retired. But when I was in the military, I did a lot of singing. People heard me working because I work and sing. And they was like, you know what? You need to do the national anthem. And I was like, no, I don't sing. And they was like, yes, you do. So that's that's where I really started singing it at work doing ceremonies for the different organizations within the military. And as time went on, New Macedonia joined the praise team because Pastor Paul was there. And before that, I was at Waterbrook with Shirley Abels, uh, pastor, her husband pastors that church.
Hmm.
And so I was there going to church once I came back from Fort Bragg. I was stationed at Fort Bragg. And I started really there because she was like, you're going to do praise and worship. And I was like, what? I don't do that. And so that's where I started praise and worship and came back to New Macedonia and praise and worship team and just continue to go from there, singing choirs, singing community choirs, Toby Palmer, Chosen Generation. I know you're familiar with
Oh, I didn't know
them.
you sang with Toby Palmer.
I did.
That was the choir
So
back in the day.
that was the
That was the
choir.
choir. Y'all had all the fly outfits, the big Precious up there with that big bow tie on in the middle of the choir and all that. Oh yeah,
Yes,
that was the
singing and
choir.
moving. We were singing and
The
moving.
young adults. That's
Yeah.
it right there. Yeah.
That was the young adult community choir, and I was a part of that. It was a great time, and I just love to sing and give God glory. Never saw myself as a soloist. I always wanted to be the person in the choir. As my thing was, I wanted to sing in the group, but I wanted to be behind the stage, behind the curtain. I wanted to be that background singer.
Right, right. I understand. Tell me
So,
about what job did you have in the military?
so I was an administrative person, which means I was a jack of the jack of all trades, but specialist of none. We did a
Okay,
lot of things.
got you,
So yeah.
got you. And then then you get married, and you have children and all these types of things. And big shout out to your husband and your family.
Yes.
Go ahead, tell me their names now. Tell us their names.
Right. So I have three beautiful children. The oldest is Jennifer, and I have Jessica, who's my baby girl, and then Nicholas Padilla, my birth baby, the baby I gave birth to. And so
Mm,
those are my three beautiful loved ones, and my husband, Nicholas Padilla Jr. So that is my hub, my family right there.
great, great, great. Now let's talk about your singing. After when was it that you decided, hey, I think I'm going to try my hand at recording something?
So the first time I recorded something, it was by Directive, Shirley Abels. I did a song called Touch Me.
By
That's a
directive.
real,
I got it. By directive.
oh, my Directive. You gonna sing this song? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I really began to love singing, I want to say it wasn't, but within the last maybe 4 to 5 years, because I'm just starting to find who I am as a singer.
Mm-hmm.
Jerome Bell had me to sing at his um, song release. Well, actually, his recording. He had me do the opening for his recording. And so I sang for that. And, I knew I liked singing, but I hadn't got the bug, as you would say. But it wasn't until I did a set at Gerani's Coffee House who called me after that. And I was like, oh, I think I can do this, and I think I like it. So that is what started me like, okay, let me try this. But I have since recorded a song with the Phil Carter. I won't complain. And so I am slowly on that journey. As I said, I'm still trying to discover who I am as a singer because I had a lot of influences growing up and as I've, come through this life. So, you
Well, you
know.
definitely have a work ethic. You definitely have a work ethic. I guess the military may have given you that never quit spirit that you have. And you just recently, in the last couple of years, released a book as well. Talk about the book.
So yes, I released a book. This is what we do. This is the book. I Live for You, Lord, Nighttime Reflections. Um, this book is a nighttime devotional that I wrote, and it is the result of me sending devotions to my children every night, all three.
Mm, mm,
I mean, because my children are grown. Nicholas, he was still in high school, but I wanted to make sure they were getting the word every day, sending them a devotion. And so a girlfriend of mine said, why don't you just put all of that in the book? Because it was about a year. I had done a year every night sending them devotions. So they would have it when they wake up in the morning. And so I was like, I don't know anyone that writes books. Why would I do that? I don't know, when you don't see people do things or you don't know how to get there, it's like, how do I do that? And so I was like, okay, I said, Lord, if you want me to do this, you're going to have to show me and I will do it. And so that night, I went to sleep. I had a dream that I was handing someone a book and they was handing me the money. And I said, okay, Jesus, I'm supposed to write the book. So I found an editor, someone to help me and uh, outbirth the baby. This is the baby. And people have been, as Dolores said, they have been giving me money for the book, which has been a blessing. Um,
amen.
I I think, and my children, anyone that has the book, they know I've dedicated it to my children because they were the catalyst for the birth of that baby.
And on the Hope Network, you've been sharing excerpts from that book, devotionals and things of that nature. Excuse me, you've been teaching on that book,
Yes.
and
So,
so yeah, you want to talk about that, or
yeah, I want to talk about that.
come on, let's talk about it.
So every Thursday night at 8 o'clock, I meet with people to discuss the book. I share an excerpt from the book, and we just go through 30 minutes of making points, sharing a devotional from this book. And then at the end, people, I've just started the Zoom. I have a Zoom room that we meet in the room after the live discussion. And so we are able to hear, first of all, I get feedback from everyone about the discussion, and then I get their input about how they felt about it, what they got out of it. And it's interesting because people share. And so I wanted to do the live Zoom, but I feel like the closed, exclusive Zoom, it makes a difference so they can share freely. So that's been good.
That's wonderful. That's a wonderful idea. Small group sessions really help out a lot. So
Yes.
author, we got the author part, we got the singer part, we got the military, we
What?
got the mother,
Look, how
we
much
got the
time?
wife. I'm trying to tell you. Let's talk about what has 2020 been for you.
2020 has been busy. It's
Mm,
been cray cray, to say the least. With COVID-19, people being sick, dying, millions dying across the world. I went through an experience of pneumonia this year. So that
mm,
was a trying time for my family as well, because I was very close to death and did not know it.
mm,
But I thank God that He spared me and that I'm still here to continue on this journey and to not take anything to the grave. That's Phil
mm-hmm.
Carter. We don't want to take it
Die
to the
empty.
grave.
You got to die empty.
So I am working to do what I must do. So we're teleworking for my job now. So
Mm,
that has been so busy. It's more intense than it is being in the office when you're working telework, because you don't have the breaks that you normally would have. You
that's
don't
correct.
have the meetings that you would normally go to, because when you walk to the meeting, you don't just go there. You got to stop and say hello to so and so, and they want you. Oh, come here, let's talk. So you get a little break, but here you're just at your desk pounding it out. So that has been interesting, but I have really enjoyed it. The traffic, you can't
Can't
beat it.
beat it.
You can't beat it.
You're not knocking each other over to get to the kitchen.
Oh my goodness. I will jump up, get ready, and be at that table and ready for work. I'm ready.
I'm trying to tell you. Let's
Yeah.
go back briefly to your sickness endeavor. Did you find yourself coming out of that endeavor closer to God? Was there any, you don't have to get in detail, but were there any intimate moments that you wouldn't have had if you hadn't gotten sick?
So, yes, I will
Mm,
say that. I will say that I believe He kept me for a reason.
mm-hmm,
And Phil, I'll tell you, when I was in the hospital, I did not know how close I was to death. I had no idea
mm,
until the nurse asked me the last day, "Why are you still alive?"
mm-hmm.
And I said to her, "Because Jesus has a plan for me," still not realizing how sick I was. And so she went on to explain 111 temperature.
I
You
want you
were
to say that.
shutting
I
down.
want you to say that again because when I was explaining this to my friend Alex Brown, he looked at me and said, I didn't think Tammy told lies. So let me. I want you to repeat what he repeated again for him.
But who was it? Say his name again so
Big
I
Al,
can say
Big
it.
Al that hangs with me. Big Al, the big guy, 6'4". He's always with me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Big
Tell
Al.
him.
Yeah.
You tell Al. No, I don't lie, Al. It was 111. I know who you are.
And God brought you through that.
God brought me through.
You have to be in a science book somewhere right now. Somebody documented that and said, let me tell you what happened here in Washington, D.C. God is extremely and extraordinarily good to
Yes.
all of us, and you just a testimony of his goodness. What is new and on the horizon for Tammy Padilla?
So Tammy Padilla is working on her next book, which Stephanie Carter has been my encourager through this process. We have been encouraging each other in this process. So I am working on my second devotional, and I'm praying through that process because I really depend on the Lord to give me what I'm writing. So sometimes it's coming quick, sometimes it's not. But it's His time. It's His time.
That is correct.
Yes. And so the other thing is I have a song that I'm working on that Phil Carter and Tammy Padilla are going to get out.
We trying. We fighting hard.
So we are going to get that hopefully released this year. So I will have either a book or a song out this year. Something will come out this year. And I'm hoping that as I continue on this journey, that the Lord will open up other doors where I can share His word, whether in song or in, discussions about His word, because I love to talk about the Lord. That's my favorite thing.
Well, that's great. That's great. And
Yes.
so tell me, why did you decide to join the IGAA Hope Network?
So, you know how you want to get through and do something, you have a goal in mind, you want to meet it, but you have no clue what to do first. You've seen people do it, but you hadn't been there on the journey with them to get through that process, to glean from it. And so IGAA Hope to me is the hope that I need. It's helping others, as it says, it means for helping others pursue their endeavors.
Right.
It is helping me to learn new things. Phil, firsthand, I was on shutdown for the first 3 weeks because I was trying to learn how to edit a video. But I'm learning new things. I am getting the seminars that you all are putting out. Tamil was amazing, sharing the things that they want us to glean, learn, and implement in our life. Now, I'm the one that's in the group. You know how you get on the train, everybody gets on the train together. The first part of the train going to get there, the last part coming. I'm the back. I'm pulling up the back. But I'm going to get there because y'all are leading the way.
You hanging on to the rail.
I'm hanging on. I'm hanging on. But I am not letting go. I am coming. I don't get everything with the timing of it because I'm learning. This is all new for me. Some of you all have been doing it a little while longer, but it has been a good journey of learning this process.
Well, even being in it this long, there's still a lot to learn because times are changing, things are changing. The industry's changed. How we relate to each other, how we relate to the world, all of that has changed. And so we're constantly in a process of evolving. And that's when you've made it once you realize that you will always be evolving into something. In fact, that's biblical. It does not yet appear what we shall be, for one day we shall be like him. And so
Yes.
once we grab on to that truth and not get so comfortable or, in whatever success we've had or so comfortable in our skin, then at that point, you are getting ready. You're on your way to success. And I really believe that is what's going to happen to you. We thank you for being a part of the IGAA Hope Network. So now, let me ask you a few questions. Favorite color?
My favorite color would be purple.
Purple, okay. Favorite food?
Thai.
Favorite, that almost made me holler laughing because one of my first dates with my wife was at a Thai restaurant, and I can't stand Thai, but I ate it right there in front of her. I
I'm
promise
sure
you
you
I did.
And you act like
was-
you liked it
I
too.
acted like it was the best thing I had ever tasted. But anyway, so that makes me laugh. I'm gonna go upstairs and talk to her about that. But anyway, so favorite candy? Favorite sweets?
Oh, I'm not a Snickers.
Snickers. Okay. You a sports fan?
So I am a Washington fan. I
Uh-huh.
have been one for most of my life, and I'm still going to stick with them.
You had to give me that whole lecture just to say
I sure did.
y'all, if he's Washington fans or something else, I'm
So
trying to tell you.
Mama Sue said she's sticking with the Warriors. I'm sticking with the Washington team. Yes, let's do this. Yes.
When COVID is over and you feel comfortable with traveling on a vacation, what's the first place you're going to go to?
There are so many places. I want to go to the Grand Canyon. I want to do all the things that I should have did before this was over.
Die empty again. There we go back to that.
Yes. Yes, I am going to run quickly. I want to travel overseas within the states because there are so many things in the states that are worth seeing that we have never even gone or thought about doing. But I'm thinking about those things now because I can't go.
Right. Well, I think that wraps it up. But let me ask you this. This is the IGAA Hope Network, and we always want to leave people with a word of hope. So would you please give us something that we can grab onto this evening?
So I would say that we're on this journey called life. And as we're on this journey traveling, sometimes we don't really step out and do the things that we know we're supposed to do because we're scared. I'm going to say step out because God has already designated people to help you on the journey, but you won't get there if you don't move. So I say get moving so that you can do what God has called you to do and whatever He has ordained it to be. Whatever comes out of it won't be left in the graveyard, as Phil said. We want you to get it out here, to bless the people here, bless them now with what God has given you to do.
Let me tell you something.
Get started.
Let me tell you something. That's amazing because everybody that's interviewed has said some semblance of the same thing at the end. I just think that's wonderful that we all realize that this is it's an urgent time. It's a time to really to do the things that you didn't have time to do before, and it's also a time to plant the seeds for the things that's going to harvest later on. This is not the time to do nothing, and I think that all of us are grabbing onto that vision and really running with it because God has got a work for us to do, and the fact that the church has now been deployed has given us the time, the ammunition, and the sight to see what He is really want us to do out here in this earth. As I say, in these COVID streets.
In this COVID fields, yeah.
So thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. You are a testimony. How can people get in contact with you?
So you can contact me at blessedtouchllc.com. That is my website where you can purchase books. You can contact me be in contact with me. You can also contact me on Facebook, Tammy Padilla on Facebook, and my business page is Blessed Touch LLC. I am also on YouTube. You can look up Tammy Padilla on YouTube. You can see some of my clips of my show. And Phil, I just want to put out there, I do sing for churches. I am doing virtual church.
Come on.
And so I am available to sing and play.
Come on.
Not playing for the choir.
We forgot to talk about that. Keep going. We've got to talk about that. Yeah. You played too. I forgot about that.
I'm just playing for me though. So if you need somebody to come in and render a song, I'm your person. Yes, I am.
And hold your book up again. What's the name of your book?
Okay.
What's the name of it again?
I Live for You, Lord, Nighttime Reflections.
All right.
By Tammy Padilla. Yes.
Amen. So if you're looking for a wonderful devotion.
You didn't ask for that one, but boom.
Come on, where is it? Let's get it all out. I
Yes,
won't complain. Tammy
I
Padilla
won't complain.
on all
It's
digital outlets.
on all digital outlets.
That's
You can
right.
find it in the music, the book as well. You can get a digital copy on Amazon as well. Tammy Padilla. Just look me up.
See, you're no longer at the back of the train, but you just moved to the front because you were the only interviewee who had his products, who had her products ready to show to this listening audience, this watching, this viewing audience. So you have moved up.
Well,
You're no longer
look,
back there with the coal. You're up there. You're up there with the trained operator.
look, Phil. I'm in Studio Padilla, so this is my studio. This is where
Hey,
I set up at. So it's all right here.
hey. Last question. What have you turned your house into? I mean, for me, I took a whole bedroom, made a video room. I just turned everything. It's everything now. It's the grocery store, it's the restaurant, it's the video room. How many different places do you have now? Or you managed to keep things intact?
So, we have two studios here
Come on
in the
now.
Padilla home. We have one for Nicholas Padilla,
Uh huh.
where he actually we have three. I'm sorry, we have three studios going on here. So yes, we have the studios. This is my area here, where I view every Thursday night. People can come and check me out here, and then my husband has his area. So this is what we're doing. This is COVID-19.
Hey, and beyond, because now
And
we're figuring out new ways to make things happen.
correct, correct.
Amen.
So
Amen.
I'm glad I moved up in the train. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Well, we're moving on up.
Hey, to the east
That's
side.
right. Well, God bless you. Thank you so much for this interview. This has been a
All
pleasure.
right.
You all stay tuned for more IGAA Hope interviews. But let's give a big God bless you to Sister Tammy Padilla. Look her
Thank
up.
you.
Watch her videos. Check her out. It'll inspire you. God bless you. Hang on, Tammy.
Okay.